guys should be getting off of work or within a few hours. And so hopefully you guys had an amazing day. I've been working all day, and so I came on, and of course I saw the trash of YouTube on here, and thought I might need to save a few people, because when you guys don't have anything to do, what do? You go look at the hate channels. So we're going to keep you guys off the hate channels for a little bit anyways. I hope everybody's doing well. We were going to do a live tonight about some breaking news, which has been pushed off until tomorrow night, so I figured I'd just come to you like this and kind of pick up where we left off earlier today. It's nice to see you, Don Southern. It's nice to see you, Mr. and Mrs. Carguy, Melanie, Tennessee Babe. Hey, Deanna, Jamie, Brenda Sue. It's nice to see you. Mr. Rogers, I hope you are doing well this Friday. Pebbles, it's nice to see you. Steelers Lady, hey, Groovy Gal, it's nice to see you. I got a secret, you can keep it. It's nice to see everybody here this afternoon. I'm exhausted. Suzanne, Mickey Shell, hey. Pebbles, did I say hi to you? I don't know if I said, I know it seems so. Come here, Delilah. Come. You need to get my shoes out of the way? Come. Come on. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Whee! Hi. You want to say hi to everybody? Hi. Hey, hi. I'm the crime-fighting pooch. Oh, little baby. Oh, giving mommy all the kisses and yubbins. Oh, little baby. Oh, the little baby. Hi, Mr. E. It's nice to see you. I don't know why you're not. I thought I added you. So hopefully let Mrs. E and Auntie E write in here when they get an opportunity. So I didn't realize you guys weren't modded. And then somebody had said something, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize, because I don't pay attention. I just happened to catch you. I hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Hindsight, it's nice to see you. Good gracious. So anyways, we were going to be here tonight at 8 o'clock and talk about some breaking information. And it's not really, it's related to the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, but it's showing yet another lie. And because I haven't been able to pull everything, oh, Mrs. E uses then she's probably the one I modded. Gotcha. All right, well, I appreciate it. I'm glad you let me know. So I think the only person now is Auntie E. Hey, Crime Stories, it's nice to see you, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well. I hope the other side of the pond is doing well. What's the temperature like over there? Is it cold or is it cool? Is it like springtime for you guys? Do you guys go through the changes? John Benet, Madeline McCann, Summer Wells, and Sebastian all unsolved. I know, that's what we were kind of talking about earlier. Hey, Emma, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. 80 degrees currently. Wow. I don't know what it is outside. I mean, it actually feels good. Like in the shade, it's cool. You know, and there's enough wind out there that even if you're in the sun, it feels pretty cool. So anyways, kind of getting back to this, we were supposed to go over, over some information. So tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., here on this channel, we will be going over the very, very important information. It's just another lie at the end of the day. It's just another lie. We have so much stuff going on, and I think we were kind of getting into it this morning. I haven't gone back and reviewed this morning's footage, because we were recording live, and then I got off and I had to do some things, had to make some calls and whatnot. So I think we were kind of going into, what all this craziness is. I don't want to be pulled into it, but I'm still going to discuss it because it's insane. I saw some posts on, I don't know if it was on Facebook. I know some people sent it to me, but it's showing Hong has a order of protection against him. And oh shit, I forgot about that. No, we're not doing tomorrow. We'll have to do it earlier in the day. And I don't know when I think I'm going to be getting here, because Seth is going live. 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. So that's going to be, I forgot about that. That's going to be the wrong time. Today, I don't know if I'll have time. Maybe I'll do it tonight at 10. That'll give me enough time to kind of get everything pulled up, researched, understood, and a script, because it's a lot of different pieces, so I've got to write something out. But long story short, this morning when I woke up, I'm reading all this stuff, and I think it was sent to me by email. I can't be for sure because I go through so many messages every single day. But it was showing a protective order from that unscrupulous PI to Hong, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, he's never even met Hong. I don't think he's ever seen Hong in the flesh. How are people getting protective orders like this? This is what I would like to know. I want to know how in the world the courts keep giving out these, what are they called? Where only one party is like, this guy has never seen each other. If you choose to go over to their channel and watch, they're not harassing you. You're harassing yourself. It seems like it's right out of the playbook of what ex parte, thank you hindsight, ex parte protective orders. These people that abuse, like, there are literally people that are in fear for their lives. And it's nonsense like this that makes judges have to stop and question. And then the public is pissed off with a judge every time he denies a protective order and somebody gets killed. And it's because all of this abuse going on when it comes to protective orders, sometimes it clouds the judgment of judges because it's like the boy crying wolf all the time. This should be a crime. This should literally be a crime to be able to willfully and intentionally abuse a system like this. And I don't mean perjury, because I think we were talking about this morning, just like I was saying this morning, nobody ever really goes after perjury, right? I mean, it's there. So, like, the prosecutor can go after perjury if it's something that bites, that frustrates them. But the rest of the public has to keep eating this nonsense where people are playing these freaking games with a system that is supposed to protect the most vulnerable. And it's very, very, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Because people are abusing this system. People are abusing this process. It's being widely done. And this has got to be, now he's in California. And what he's trying to do is the same nonsense that Chris and Katie did to me. Serve him all the way in Pennsylvania. So he has to end up coming to California and sit in their courtroom for nothing more than vindictiveness. That is not what this process is for. That is not what this process is for. I would be filing charges. He deserves to have charges filed against him. There is nothing that Hong has done outside of satire on an X page. That's it. And he intervened into a federal lawsuit. Dum-dum. Like, this is just absolute insanity. And not only that, but we here in the true crime community of all places, we see the devastation of court orders not being put in place, or court orders being put in place and nobody cares about the piece of paper. I mean, we go through a lot. I mean, look at all these people, all these women out there that are going through domestic violence. Look at all of our children out there that are missing. that needed these things in place, and nobody believed them. You know why? Because nonsense like this, the abuse of the process, the abuse of the system. Aw, thank you, Emma. Emma gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to say thank you, Emma. And welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room. Welcome aboard. And so it really upsets me that it's starting to be so flagrantly abused around this country, and it has devastating consequences. I mean, we see the true reality of these poor decisions, right? Look at the situation I'm in. And this is being done to tens of thousands of people around the country. Aw, thank you, Tina. This is just totally unacceptable. This is totally unacceptable, and it spits in the face of the real abused victims that are using the process for their life. Literally for their life. And every time somebody abuses this system, it weakens their help, because a judge is constantly having to think, is this another bull crap? Because we know how narcissists are. They are very manipulative. They're very coy. They're very cunning. They have the ability to look at Brian Laundrie. He just got done beating the crap out of Gabby, and then he's just there joking around, acting like, it's all her fault, nothing to see over here. I just got a crazy woman, right? Isn't that what they always say? She's the crazy one. So now we have people that thank you, Melanie, gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Melanie thank you. Welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room. Welcome aboard. There's plenty of room for more of you crazies. Because in this world, the sane is insane, and the insane is sane. Don't ask me how that all happened, but I felt like I woke up one day and I was in the Twilight Zone. But I think one of my passion items are going to be people that abuse this system. I'm going to start working on that in Florida. Usually people follow suit. If we can get something in Florida, there's always another state or two that always follows Florida's lead. So if we can just get one good positive, law here, we could probably, I don't know. Oh, thank you, Summer's Army. Summer's Army became the newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. So did Izzy Girl, thank you. Gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Thank you, guys. That is so sweet. I appreciate it. Welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. I think you guys just like hearing me say that. That's okay. But this is just insane. So even on that, I guess it was being passed around that Hong was served. And so Hong's ex I went through his ex, and he said he hasn't been served with squat. He hasn't been served with squat. So it sounds like these people are literally abusing this system, this protective order system. Now this is number 2. Well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5 in one group of people that have brought protective orders against people that they've never even laid eyes on, that are not even in their state. I just want that to resonate and sink in for a lot of people. Okay? This is number 5. in a small group of people. That's not coordinated at all. Wow. ER Blue, 5 gifted Bullhorn Betty memberships. Thank you. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell ER Blues thank you. And for the 5 beautiful members, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Uh-oh, I messed up my bass. But it was fun. Hey, Turkey Man. I'm doing, today's been a very, I don't know, I've been working a lot as is because I got so many obligations and I'm burning my candle at both ends, but, I don't know, I just go out every now and again when things just get too much. I go out and play ball with Delilah. I leave my phone inside. I leave my phone inside and I go out there and play, you know? And so it's nice, you know, 20 minutes here and there every day, you know. And then, of course, we have the neighbor next door that has the another Chihuahua that they play well. Emily's starting to play with Delilah a little bit, you know. When she first came over there, she'd jump down, jump up, run around a little bit, and then jump back in her chair and just want to get away from Delilah. But now over time, like every time she sees Delilah out, she barks for her to come over, and you know, it's like a little dirt path right there where Delilah just cuts through the yard over to see Emily. It's cute. Oh, set yourself free, Samantha, Turkey Man. Hey, it's nice to see everybody. We got some other people coming into the chat. Luna Livonia, it's nice to see you. Turkey Man's up in the house. Whispering Winds, BMW Coupe, MJ, MC, Lulu, it's nice to see you. I hope everybody's doing well. Samantha, the real me too, me and you, it's nice to see you. I know. That is true. Deafening Silence says, Betty, you need domestic violence support services to stand with you to point out the mockery they're making, and you're a prime example of the misuse of life-saving orders. Exactly. And people need to understand that. You know, some people think this is a joke, and it's not, because they've never been in a lethal domestic violence situation before. And when you're in a lethal domestic violence situation and you're having a judge having a hard time for a judge to believe you, you don't know what that feeling is like until you're there. And there are so many people that can't get the damn order, and it's because of the abuse in the system. It's because of this. That man's not in fear for his life. In fear for your reputation doesn't require a protective order, an ex parte protective order. To somebody that lives in states over, what jurisdiction do they have? They've never even been to the state. I'm not really understanding all of this. You know, you gotta have, I mean, for a state to have jurisdiction over another person, they have to be there, or like this person's never went there. Like, I just don't understand where the jurisdiction is coming from. So, any update on the Idaho 4? Well, I was going to be looking into it. I know that the other day I checked out what was going on. We obviously know where the mask came from. We now know what type of mask. You know, the way it was described in the probable cause affidavit could be interpreted in many ways. And I got to say that, you know, after looking at that mask and realizing that not only did he have a knife, but he had a knife sharpener. So that would have been a creepy dude. But you know what? You remember those text messages that we reread in the affidavit where it said Xana's in a mask? I went back and looked at photos of Xana, and to be honest with you, I kind of understand why she might have thought it was Xana or Ethan or something like that. I can't remember the exact text, but they both kind of had bushy eyebrows, you know, and in just that split second while she was intoxicated, that might have been why, you know, those text messages were, you know, whatever. Exactly right. If judge gets a couple of fake claims, then a genuine need, they could just turn it down and make me. But then everybody's upset with the judge when a person is unalived, right? When a person is unalived and we're mad at the judge. We're, you know, I mean, think about it. How many times has that happened where they went in there and went to go for an order and they wouldn't let them? They made them come back to court. You know, they did give them a date, but they didn't give them that ex parte protective order. And when they went back, before they could even go back for the actual date for the hearing, the person was unalive. I mean, it's an abuse, and it's an abuse that has lethal consequences. It's not just an abuse where somebody gets financially put out or something like that. Like the flip side of this is there's so much abuse that legitimate purposes will go unnoticed, and there will be people that lose their life as a result of that. So it's just, I don't know. I think it's horrible to abuse that particular process. There's a lot of other things to do. You know, there's a lot of other things to do, but to be abusing that specific process when we're true crime, and most of our cases are because of domestic violence. You know, most of our cases are domestic violence related. Almost 90% of them. Has anyone come to the conclusion on why it took 8 hours to report? I have a theory. About that, Turkey Man. I think what had happened is the girls were absolutely utterly intoxicated. And after seeing some things in pranks that these kids have done to each other, what I really think is they fell asleep and they're just like any normal you know, university student that has a weekend and overdrank the night before. They probably were hungover and couldn't get out of the bed. You know, they probably didn't even wake up, or even if they were awake, they were probably just tossing and turning in bed until one of them had to finally get up, either go to the bathroom or get something to drink, or, you know, start their day. And people, you know, we have to assume that house, I mean, there were some pretty bloody and gory parts. I mean, even Xana's room on the outside had blood dripping down the wall, or a red-like substance if you want to be like mainstream media, but it was blood dripping down the wall. So we know that it had to have been a bloodbath inside. And so many people are like, why did they call her unconscious? Like, we got to read we got to read the 911 call, and I think they finally released the actual video recording, because it was like I almost remember hearing them all talk. So I must have reviewed that a couple weeks ago. And the one thing I can think is that if they either were in such shock that they didn't realize there was that much blood there, which, believe it or not, has happened, or they just thought it was part of the prank. You see what I'm saying? Not realizing, because they've done pranks, gory pranks on themselves. They're in university, and a lot of their friends were like in the drama. We've seen some photos of them dressed up in the drama clothes, and, you know, having like the knife and stuff like that. So to me, you could tell that they've pranked each other before. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody had pranked them before in a ski mask. You see what I'm saying? And I think that is why, because we weren't there for other things. You know, we've only been there since the day of November 13th. We weren't hanging out with these people. We didn't watch these people prior to that. So, are you going to go to the trial? I am trying to. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. This whole situation with, in Tennessee has, impaired the ability. I'm trying to work as hard and as diligently as I can to make sure that I am there personally for some of this. I was hoping to be able to stay from the beginning of the court hearing to the end of the court hearing, or excuse me, from the beginning of the trial to the end of the trial, but budget-wise, that may not be possible. And not only that, but I also now have a dog, so it's not like I can go for weeks on end like I was planning on doing in 2023. And now we're here in 2025. By the time this trial goes on, it's going to be close to 2026. So, and I've got a dog now. I got other obligations than I did a few years ago. But I'm going to try to get out there for some of it. I just need to figure out when I'm going to be going out there. I'm trying to figure out what are the important, parts, and when will those be coming into the trial. And that's, I just got to look and study, prior trials to figure out, what are the potential trial strategies that might be used in this case. And then, you just kind of got to consciously try to build a, the order that they're going to be presenting the stuff in trial, and try to figure, it's a calculation, it's an assumption, but then you just kind of got to pick a date and go. So I'm hoping I can go out there for a couple weeks when I go out there, but it just is what it is. I want to be there. But the good news is they are going to have, it is going to be televised. This is going to be publicly televised. So even if we don't go out there, we're going to be there for every little bit of it. And I've got, I know I'm going to get an update almost on a daily basis on what happened at that courtroom, as I'm going to have people live inside that courtroom. Hopefully that will be able to communicate, at least on their cell phones, to kind of tell me if anything is going on or what they're seeing and hearing, because sometimes they turn the cameras off to to the public during certain sensitive stuff, but the people that are in the courtroom will still remain in the courtroom, so they can have some of that inside knowledge that we're not going to have on the outside. You take on them tearing down the structure that they lived in and was murdered in. I know. I've been nervous about the structure. I don't think they're going to need it, but I think for the victim's sake, I mean, really, to be honest with you, it's kind of hard because there were two siblings of one of the victims that were still going to that school, and I can only imagine seeing that school from a distance, and you could see that school from certain points on that side of the campus. And I can only imagine emotionally that must have been really tough on them. But at the end of the day, if it could have any way jeopardized the jury, it was a bad move. But I also understand the issue that they were having, and it always comes down to funding. Trust me, if they were getting free money from the state of Idaho to keep that property open so they could keep it for trial, it would have stayed up, right? It wouldn't have been an eyesore anymore. It wouldn't have been a problem. They would have kept it up. But at the end of the day, they have a budget. This was an unexpected event, as you guys can imagine. And it at the end of the day, communities only have XYZ cash, right? They have budgets. They get money from the state. They get money from different grants and stuff like that. But that's it. I mean, they're still just like every other person in business. They only have XYZ funds. And then they probably have emergency funds set aside, never knowing what those emergency funds are for. And I can think that when they started depleting those emergency funds and realized they didn't really have a whole lot left, they probably had to make the very tough decision on whether to keep that property up or tear it down. And they started making some requests to the state attorney, and the state attorney, with what he had, felt confident enough that they didn't need the house anymore. Now they do have 3D imaging. I know for a fact. Oh, thank you, Miss Robin. Gifted 10 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Robin thank you. And for the 10 beautiful souls that became a member of the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. But we know they have 3D cameras, and those 3D images, I mean, it's just, it's not the same. I'm telling you, when we went out there, we felt something. You know, it's not something that I can explain. It is, it's just, I guess, intuition. I don't know what they call it. But I truly believe, as a juror, right, a juror, I truly believe that if you can walk through a crime scene, that crime scene will speak directly to you. And when you remove that crime scene and you put it digital, this is one of my biggest things, because I tell you all the time, when we're sitting here, we're at the mercy of other people's descriptions. We're at the mercy of Google and stuff. You don't get to see it, touch it, and feel it. And it's super, super important. For example, in Summer Wells, we could experience being down on the road down below, right before you get to like Beach Creek Road or whatever it's called, before you get on Ben Hill. And when you look at that mountain, and on top of it is the house and where the kids were, you can't put that in a video. We tried to capture the angle of that mountain multiple different ways so people could see how truly steep that mountain is, and you just can't. We couldn't film it to give it the proper context it needs. And I feel like when you make something 3D and put it in trial, I think you lose that intuition that they have of walking through the crime scene, and they also don't get the true dimensions from the TV as they would in real life. So I personally believe it wasn't good, but I also trust the defense, or excuse me, not the defense, the prosecution, that's not needed. But it's a huge trust, right? Because that is literally the biggest key piece of evidence in this murder case, is that house outside of the knife sheath. That is the absolute biggest part. Turkey Man, the murder in South Carolina at the dog kennels, when the jury went to the kennels, it did make a difference. And that's in the Alec Murdaugh case. Yep. And it's when he went and unalived his wife Maggie and his son Paul. And if it wasn't for his son Paul's phone, he might have gotten away with it. Oh, thank you, Pam. Pam gifted $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate your super sticker or chat. I don't know. I can't tell if it's a chat or a super sticker on my end. Thank you so much. God bless you. Hello, Shining Star. I Spy. SF Spy. I know. We're talking about I Spy. It's to me is like a nightmare, because it's like, how can you use the same playbook that is being polarized on freaking Court TV in the Sebastian Rogers case against Hong, a person that's never even stepped foot in that area and never followed this man, never like he's posting stuff on his own channel. SF has a right to block him, has a right not to see it. But if he's going to go over there and look at it, then how is that harassing him? He's harassing himself. If he doesn't like it, change the channel. Change the channel. I know, but but Truth in Time, isn't this a little more humiliating, though, for everybody to know that it's bull? I mean, it's just, I can't even talk about it because I get too upset because the implications are so huge. Abusing this particular system, it has deadly consequences. Deadly consequences. And you know what? It's never the person that's abusing the system. It's always the person that needs it the most. That's what upsets me. That's what upsets me. Hey, Pale Rider. Nice to see you. This dumb bud is on another case. Well, you know what? We should pray for his victims. I mean, I'm going to call it like that. We should pray for his victims because if he's involved in these families, he is a bad news person. I mean, he takes the most vulnerable people and exploits that, literally exploits that for profit. He doesn't do anything for him. We watched his work. His work is staying on Twitter all day. How I'm still scratching my head saying how is that searching for a missing person? Oh, SPED teacher, it's nice to see you. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. If you received your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, tell SPED teacher thank you and welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. I eat and send salam. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Your only rule in the insane asylum is be kind to your neighbor. Shouldn't be hard, right? Shouldn't be hard. Like I say, it's in today's world. It's insane is sane and sane is insane. So we'll graciously be insane in the membrane. I just stroked. It's Friday. I know. This month went by super, super fast. I got so much stuff to still do. I've literally worked around the clock. I'm exhausted. I can't wait until April is over. I just want April to be over and behind me and, work toward more positive things. So hopefully we'll get there. I have a tons to do trying now. Yeah, me too. I got a lot of stuff to do. But anyways, oh, that's right. I had some photos in here I wanted to go through and I don't know. I'm going to be dropping my thing from I did something this morning when I was on TikTok, and I got so busy today I forgot to play my TikTok. So in a couple hours I'll drop my TikTok on here, but from this morning. And so it paused and it got me like this and I don't know how this happened. I really don't. But it got this perfect silhouette of me in the video. Now you'll see when I drop the video, it does have a slice because I took all this out. But there's a spot and I'm like, I'm going to have to take a picture of this. So I scrolled back and I'm like, there is no way. And there I am. Woo, woo. Well, hold on, let me see if I can there I am. Woo, woo, woo. And you can see my hand. I think that's my hand right there. Might be my coffee going up to my... And then, of course, we were covering that. And, I also wanted to remind everybody, which I never even got to, I was out there. I was in my Board of County Commissioner meeting, and I was talking about Felicia, what is her name? Felicia Mays or something like that. She's from Sarasota. Her mom tried for like 6 months to report her missing, and she was like bounced from sheriff's office to police station, from one county to another, and it took her like literally 6 months to finally report her daughter missing. And so I knew my sheriff and of course my county commissioners allowed me to speak. I couched it as a future agenda item, but it really wasn't. It was to speak to my sheriff because I know he watches the proceedings. And so anyways, I was kind of speaking to him, but I wanted him to know, take the report, you know, you can transfer that report to the proper jurisdiction. I just don't want that to be a story coming out of Manatee County. I don't want to cover a story like that coming out of Manatee County. I like, you know, I like not having a whole lot of things, you know, that I report on coming out of my own county, to be honest with you. I like the fact that the last thing I reported out of my own county is our largest drug bust here. You know, it was almost a $2 million drug bust. That's huge for our county, right? And it saved potentially 6 million lives, which is insane. That was crazy. Betty, speak up for the defenseless and the missing. Yeah, well, that's what we do on this channel every day. That's what we do when we go out there in the field. You know, we're looking for answers for these missing people. We're fighting for them. You know, we've been fighting for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers for well over a year. You know, the fight's still not over. Summer Wells. You know, our fight for Summer Wells was relentless. And here we are all these years later. You know? Am I froze? I shouldn't be froze. I shouldn't be froze. Hopefully, is there people in here? I think I set it for a day. If I need to reset it, do we have a lot of trolls in here? I can't see the trolls, or I'm not paying attention to them. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me see what my settings are. For all the trolls, go back to your mommy and daddies to get attention, okay? If you can't get good attention, you come and get negative attention. Even your own channels won't give you enough attention. Even your own channels won't give you enough attention. Aw, poor babies. Aw. We got some wabbags in here. They need to go back to their little channels and go back to their little ecosystems and their, you know, their gunk. And just stay over there. They don't need to be over here. There's good Christian people over here. We don't really care to have, you know, immoral people. We don't mind imperfect people, but not... These people literally wait a whole entire day to come here and act stupid. Isn't that... Hey, Michelle, it's nice to see you, love. Isn't that a little... Isn't that just a little weird? Like, would you really do that? Please don't tell me anybody in my audience would literally go and wait an entire day to throw a single insult at somebody. That seems like such a waste of energy and time. Who does that? Who does that? MC reminding everybody, 389 people here, 160 thumbs up. Get those thumbs up, people. We should have about 200. We have to think that at least a few. We have about 20% of our audience that are trolls. About 20% of the people that follow this channel and come into this chat while we're live is about 20% trolls. So we should have at least 80% thumbs up because 80% of you guys like me. You're just too lazy to go out and thumb it up. Betty, it's a Friday! It's Friday. I'm exhausted from the week. I can't lift a finger or a thumb for that matter. Oh, good gracious. Good gracious. Yeah, come on, trolls, thumb up. Yeah, they're here. Guys, they're like family too, right? They're like that crotchety old aunt. That's what our trolls are. What is it? Like Aunt Acid, but not as funny. Just full of pee and vinegar. This week has been crazy. Feels, I know. I can't believe I'm just a few days away from a major hearing. I hate going to these things. I really do. So, we'll have to figure it out. All right, I'm exhausted. I'm glad it's Friday. I know. And like I said, I wanted to do a show at 8 o'clock, but my day got all flipped upside down. So, and we can't do it tomorrow because I forgot all about. But Seth, and well, I guess it's a great segue into it. But Seth is he's going to be going live tomorrow at 8 on his channel. If you guys haven't, if one of my mods, can you guys put Seth's channel into the chat for everybody? Because if you haven't been over to Seth's page, you're going to want to go over to Seth's page and sub up so you guys can chat. I don't know how long they're going to set the chat out, but if they're like me and they set it out an hour and you sub up, you know, right before they go live, you're not going to be able to chat, you know? So I would definitely sub up sooner than later, and just in case, you never know. I know that Seth is over the bullying and over the trolls, so I don't even think Seth could care, you know, if he didn't feel like he would hurt Sebastian's army, I don't think he would care to even turn the comments on, right? But he loves you, and he knows that you guys love him, and you guys want to support him, and he doesn't want to take that away from you over hate. So, did anyone catch Coffin Daffer? No, Opal. What was on Coffin Daffer? Today? I have hardly been online all day. I've hardly been online all week, honestly. It's not trolls, Betty. It's fans. Do we have to have those kind of fans? This is not an equal opportunity chat, though. Like, you gotta have some type of common sense to be over here on this channel. You know, you gotta have some type of common sense. All of our family, you know, knows how to have conversations. I mean, at this point. I hope you all have an awesome weekend. You that would like to worship with us on Sunday morning, praise. Would somebody drop Turkey Man's channel in chat as well? That's great. You know what? The only thing, since I didn't get a chance to talk, the only thing I wish is, I don't know what setting it is, but your share feature is off. I can copy the link, but I can't share your channel like I do other channels, and I think it's a button maybe in the settings. I'll have to look that up and find out where that button is and send that to you, Torquay Man, because I'd love to be able to just hit the share button and just post an immediate post. That'd be nice. I miss what she did say about Sebastian. I don't. Are you talking about me? Oh, I'm so tired right now. I couldn't remember what I just said 2 sentences ago. She doesn't think Sebastian's case is. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay. Oh, yeah. She doesn't think I don't think Sebastian's case is cold either. But you know me. I use my voice to kind of, you know, search and elicit stuff, because sometimes when I come out here and I'm like, you know, there's not even been a search. We haven't even seen an isolated search. Then you got somebody that wants to prove me wrong and sends me an article showing me there's an isolated search. So, I mean, there is purpose behind it. But I was just trying to find out if there's any isolated search. I don't think it's a cold case. But I also know Tennessee's history, and that's what has me uncomfortable, you know? At the end of the day, Tennessee's history has been more than not a no body, no crime state. And here we have, at minimum, custodial interference. We have, you know, recorded what appears to the rest of the world as child abuse. So, I mean, at minimum, are they working on, you know, the elements of those 2 types of charges? It's just upsetting to be here all these months later. I mean, the West case was hard, and that's from California. I think it started in Bakersfield, California, and I can't remember where they ended up moving to, and where I think the children were ultimately reported missing from in California. But I know it took them 14 months, and they had no bodies. But it took them 14 months to build a circumstantial case against them, and they arrested him, and they were building that case up until that trial. And even though they only got them for second degree murder, they had some serious time. I can't remember what they were ultimately sentenced to. They may have been sentenced to life, both of them, two consecutive life sentences. I don't know. But either way, to me, that is justice, right? I truly believe that these people planned it. Otherwise, why was it only the adopted children? It's just, I don't know. Are you going live on Sunday, my Oh, Melanie, no, I probably will not be going live I probably won't. Because I've got to be in court on April 2nd, and I've got to have some travel time, so I'm not sure what day specifically I'm leaving. If I'm not leaving on Sunday, I will absolutely be here. I mean, but even when I travel, I usually pop up, I rear my ugly head at some point, you know what I'm saying? So I whether it's, when I get to the hotel room on the, the travel there where we're breaking up every few miles and everybody's getting mad at me and like, you're like everyone in there, and that's so annoying. I look at it and all you see is the, do. I remember I was just talking. I think I talked for like 10 minutes. And everybody was in there. I mean, I saw people in the chat for like 10 minutes. I'm still sitting there talking. And then when I go back to watch it, it's only like 2 minutes long. And I'm like, was I out that long? Like, it was weird. It was weird. Lady Justice, thank you for the super chat. Betty, let's start an anti-bullying campaign on YouTube. I've been trying that. I even have the anti-bullying, but what we need? I think we need like a nonprofit network that has been doing this a really long time, that we can kind of have like a partnership or whatever, where they make some videos and we can all share them around and play them on our channels without worrying about having to whatever, and maybe have some interviews on the psychology of why people do what they do, because I mean, to be honest with you, there has to be a reason, whether people understand why they bully other people or not. There has to be a reason. Like for me, it's usually one of two things. It's usually power, greed, or power, greed, and there's really not a whole lot of difference. I mean, even narcissists, it's for power. But most of the time, it's for power. It's a power thing. But what makes them need to have that power? I truly believe a lot of adult problems and problems adults have all stem from childhood trauma. Some form of childhood trauma has done what created an issue that you have to deal with at an adult level. I think once people clear that childhood trauma, I think that they move forward. They can move forward in a more productive, humble way. But some people have a lot of insecurities, and those insecurities, if they can just control somebody else or control this or control that, they feel powerful. They feel like they're in control. If they're in control of somebody else, certainly they're in control of their life. It's just a psychological thing, and I'm just trying to get to the root cause of it. I'm missing so many. TGIF. Oh, Phil, thank you, Carrie. We're happy to have you. The Hatter Madness. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Sebastian must not gold. They need looking for evidence for the case. Yeah, well, they need. We don't know what they need. We don't know what they're missing, what they're lacking. Like in the Idaho 4, they had us in. And I think they were very clever in keeping a lot of people out of their hair, because they, they wanted to find some information. Like they had 4 little areas that they needed to find out if any evidence came from those 4 areas. We don't know why they listed, well, I'm sure there's reasons why they listed the 4 areas, and I think it has to do with his driving path. But you know, we were out there. There was one time that he went somewhere, and I think it was on the Washington State side where he went. I don't know. I think if I could just see the map where he went and where his phone turned off, I bet you we could probably isolate an area that he dropped the knife at. And he also went to like Albertsons or something like that. So I'm also thinking that they have dumpsters. It wasn't until weeks later that they realized Brian had gone there and spent some time there without buying anything or whatever the situation may have been. And to me, I feel like he was getting rid of some evidence. And by the time law enforcement would have gotten there, it would have already been taken to the landfill. Just, you know, a possibility. So I don't know. We wish you a safe trip next week. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, for those that would like to come, we are going to be wearing green. I prefer nothing kind of with, I don't know if we can wear anything with Sebastian into the courtroom or not, but we all definitely can wear something green. I'm probably not going to wear anything green because I'm going to be on the other side of the table, but if you do decide you want to come on the 2nd, please, you know, if you can, wear a green ribbon or a green shirt or something green in honor of Sebastian. Who noticed that all Sebastian's shoes were there first? Does anyone know? Oh, well, Kaz? I think it was Seth. I think it was Seth because Seth said the very first thing that he noticed when he walked into the house is that all of Sebastian's shoes were at the front door. And he had asked about it. So I think it was Seth. I think Seth may even have clarified that on his own show. So, yeah. What is the next week's court about? We're trying to get the POs re-reviewed by the circuit court. I was listening to the police and they said he left without shoes. So how did they know if they got there before Seth? That's a good point. Do we remember what time that was? I could be wrong. I'm just going off. I thought maybe he thought he was the first one that noticed it. But I can tell you it was it was the very first thing he noticed when he walked in the house. That may have been what I got mixed up. So I to be honest with you, I wasn't there. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. You could get Sebastian's picture as an iron on and transfer, make some shirts up, just an idea. Yeah, but I don't want to promote people wearing, you know, Sebastian shirts and then everybody not be able to go in because you can't have, you know, something like, I don't know if they can, yeah, I don't know what the rules are. I didn't look into it. So I just figured to be safe and on the safe side, if everybody just wears green, then, you know, that we all know what the green stands for. And it doesn't matter what color green. Any color green that you have, you know, and you're coming, please wear. Hey, Scotty Too Hottie, I hope you're doing well. Realtor Lulu, it's nice to see you, me and you. Carrie, hey, hey, hey. Butterfly Girl, Betty, do you think Sebastian's case is getting close to going cold? I guess that has been the question going around. You know, is the case going cold? I think that's always our fear, is the case going cold. It's hard to say because usually I gauge where the case is based upon, you know, law enforcement statements and behaviors, you know, and that's what's absent in this case. We have no law enforcement statements. We have no, you know, we have no, it doesn't, in my opinion, like their public statements and stuff would help keep this in the news, would help this, infuse some interest into this case, probably in their local community. There's probably a lot of people that forgot about this case. This local media is not really covering it. So a lot of the people out there, if they're not on social media, they're forgetting about this case. So I feel like, in part, by law enforcement staying silent, then they're not really wanting this case in the public. And that, to me, is sad. Now, that's just an assumption, but I can't understand why law enforcement hasn't been able to find, 10 minutes of words to string together to give the public a legitimate update about this case at this point. It doesn't have to go to the integrity of the investigation, but it would show, in my opinion, their community that they have not given up on this boy. And, it was really nice that they came to his vigil, but that's not enough. That's not enough. I don't know. I feel wrong I feel all kinds of wrong about this. And I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, because I feel like a statement from law enforcement could really help this case with local attention where the attention needs. I know how completely crazy it sounds, but you could have this, like, everybody thinks everybody knows this kid's missing. No, they do not. Believe it or not, there's probably a lot of people in their own community. Why I think the whole community should be saturated with missing person flyers, and I'm very disheartened that it's not. After a year, there should be flyers literally everywhere. There should be enough flyers to go and replace all those flyers, but there's not. They're either getting torn down or other reasons that they're just not staying in place, and that's diminishing his face in that local community. That's where his face needs to be penetrated, is in that local community. Why? Because that's where he disappeared from. We're getting this as far out as to Mexico and the Canadian border, yet it's losing traction in his own community where he disappeared from and is most likely. Doesn't make sense. Realtor Lulu, we thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Thank you. So, I mean, no, the neighbors just want to, they care, they don't like it happening in their neighborhood, but they just want their peace and quiet more than they really care about this child being found. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. They don't want their peace disrupted. They if they really wanted to help, if the neighbors wanted to help, they'd help. And outside of Miss Bobby and a couple other neighbors, I don't see anybody really giving a shit about this kid. And that's what's so disheartening. So disheartening. They have their opinions and they talk under their breath, but they're not doing anything to keep their neighbor's story alive. When Stephanie Shenefield went missing here, we were out there looking for him. Locals, us, from this community, out there searching for her. And we would have went as long as it took. We would still be looking for her right now if she had not been found. So it's Elijah Vu's community. They never gave up on him. Never. And I just, for everybody talking about how badass, Tennessee is, no disrespect. I love you guys. And I know I got some people from the area and some people that stand up and do the right thing too, that I know for a fact. But there's a lot of people in this good old boys state that have no backbone or balls and don't get off their butts and go help. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. It's like nobody wants to help. Nobody really cares. He was a boy. He is a boy. And nobody knows where he's at. He deserves to be found. He deserves this entire community looking for him. I mean, the neighborhood should be shocked enough to be out there every day looking for him, just on the simple fact that they They knew he existed, but they never saw this boy. They have to now know how isolated this boy was, how unfair this boy was treated inside that home. When I heard people talking about how they just want their peace and quiet, that's when I realized, you know, they need more Jesus. That whole damn town needs a little more Jesus. You can go to church. You can go to church. But y'all need some Jesus. That's for sure. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Sending lots of hugs to you, Betty. And actually, to be honest with you, we can all use a little more Jesus, right? Nobody going to take him to pound or new house site, knowing they would search it the next day. He or they went to the main entrance with less cameras, half a block away. Common sense. Yeah. Maybe. Petra, Bobby said she wanted the search to go away. I've never heard any other neighbor say that. I know. I remember her saying that. I remember being irate. I don't think she realizes just how bad that sounded. She judges me. At least I'd have been out there helping search, and I would have never put myself above a missing child. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't. My late grandmother would tell us to remember that you help today for tomorrow you might need help. Amen to that. Amen to that. Yes, I'm from Europa. Europa? Is it? Did you misspell it, or is it Europa? Maybe it's Europe. That's what I'm thinking it means, but I could be wrong. I don't understand. I am Belgian. Europe people always protest and looking for kids. Poor Sebastian, and KP is laughing, and CP is also, yeah. It was appalling, and she says she's a mother. If it was her kid, I bet you she'd think a lot differently. I bet you if she heard one of her neighbors talking like she did when her kid was missing, I bet she'd have a lot to say about it. Just saying. Just saying. Whatever. I guess we just pray. We just pray for the weak people. We pray for strength for the weak people, and pray that strength comes sooner than later. You know, what do? All right, guys. I love you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will try to find a place for that. You know, I'd hate to put, you know, maybe it is worth putting off till Sunday. I don't know if I'm going live Sunday. We'll have to figure it out. I'll let you guys know sometime tomorrow. I'll be up early. I'll probably be on the phone like I am right now. And I may just do a live just like this. We'll have to save it for Monday night or something. Or actually. I don't know. Don't know. My whole schedule's all upside down. So anyways, we'll figure it out. I love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for everything. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, guide one another. God bless.